Hey guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness here on this thrilling Thursday here in Connecticut. Life's good, man. Life is good. You saw the thumbnail, an orchestral approach to jazz solos. Interesting, huh? Anyway, let me honk a little bit, haven't played a note. We'll see what we got. Anyway, hellacious double C's and some salsa. Anyway, listen guys, I told you, I've made no bones about it. I'm not a jazz player. Don't claim to be, okay? But here's the deal. We talked yesterday about how you have to be able to have to do a little bit of everything. You have to be able to do a lot of everything, okay? And I was a straight orchestral player. That's what I did, okay? Along the way, I developed some double C's. And just because of those chops alone, it took me into situations which I wasn't really that prepared for. I did a lot of commercials. Stuff, Broadway, jingles, all that sort of stuff. Society, big band, Latin, okay? And I realized at some point, I'm gonna have to be able to solo a little bit, okay? Now, here's the deal. What do I do? Now, there was a couple things that what people that I really respected said that sort of led me on my way and got me the bare basics without necessarily going crazy with it. Okay? And again, I know there's holes in this. And if any of you jazz guys want to comment down below and say, well, you should add this to it, be my guest. I am in no way saying this is the way to do it necessarily. All I'm saying is this is what I did. Now, when I was in college, as you know, I studied with Vacchiano. And I realized, after a while, that he had taught some of the greatest, most iconic jazz players in the history of music. Miles Davis and Wynton Marsalis, okay? Along with other guys in between. And I asked him back then, I said, what the heck did you do with them? You didn't do orchestral excerpts. What did you do? He says, simple. We just transposed. He says, what do you think jazz is? He's just learning licks, plugging in the chords, knowing different keys. He says, that's what it is. That's all that it is. And he had no problem with it at all. He didn't say, I can't help you. No. He just took any piece of music they wanted to play or he wanted to play, and they just did it in every single key you could imagine. And that got me thinking. If I can memorize, and Faddis helped me also. Faddis just, well, not him personally, but knowing how he went about it, is that when he was my age, younger than me, he knew 100 Dizzy Gillespie solos perfectly. He had a great ear, great chops, total musical recall, and he was just memorizing Dizzy solos, and he was extraordinary. Now, since that time, it's obviously morphed into a whole lot more than that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But here's the deal. I said if I memorized a handful of solos and just learned them in all keys, all right, I should be able to get through a certain situation that I can sound pretty good with. All right? Now that solo was a solo that I was listening to. I was on a job, and one guy played it on a salsa job, and just the place went nuts. Now that's just a fraction of what he did. Okay? But if you notice, it's just chordal. It's nothing more than arpeggios and stuff. You stay a key of D minor. And I'm thinking, well, I can do that. And I combined Vacchiano's little tidbit and that, epiphany that I had. And I went home after that job, and the next day learned that lick in all the keys. So no matter what salsa job I went on, they wanted me to play something. Didn't matter what key they were in. I just played a different version of that. Now from there, even though the structure is so simple, I could improvise a little bit on that too. I wasn't playing that note for note every time. But that's what I did. Now, at the time, I was playing a lot of salsa. Okay? I was playing a lot of society two-step type of thing. Okay? I was playing a lot of Hasidic Israeli stuff. So I have, among other things, those three things, and certainly, a bebop type thing and a swing type thing and all that sort of stuff. And also, I was fronting my own band, doing a lot of Harry James things. So I had a handful of Harry James things. I have about 12 to 15 of those things. Just licks like that in different styles that I knew in all keys. And when need be, I could roll that sucker out in any key. And I thank Vacchiano forever that he insisted that I become a lean, mean transposing machine. Okay? Now, that leads me to two other guys that I want to talk about. There was a guy at Manus, an incredible saxophone player. His name was Alan Wan. I think he might still be on the faculty there today, but he was a student there when I was there, and he could do anything. Soprano sax was his big thing, but he could absolutely 100% do anything. Okay? And jazz, forget about it. He was 19 years old. He's playing with this guy, incredible. And we were at a party once, and I remember a guy asked him, he says, "What the heck do you do to get the jazz?" And he says, "Man, it's so simple, man." He says, "Put the headphones on and just leave them there. Listen, listen, listen." Okay? And another guy, my favorite sports writer, as you know, I've turned myself into a writer. I've written hundreds of articles for different papers, newspapers on health and fitness, and kettlebell magazines and all this sort of stuff. Okay? And my favorite sports writer is a guy named Mike Lupica. Won every award going. And he once said, the way to be a great writer is to read, 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 write, write, write. And you can take courses, and you can do this, but guys, listen, 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 and play, play, play. Every chance you get to play, and you're going to make a fool of yourself. It's not going to be pretty sometimes, but get a couple of those Jamie Aebersold records. First start with the blues or something like that. They have very, very basic explanations about the scales and the chord structure and all this sort of stuff. And then you have an entire thing of rhythm section. And just listen, 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 play, play, play. And transpose everything. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do other than that. That is what I did. And I had no desire to be any good at it. I really didn't. I wanted to be functional so I wouldn't have to turn something down because there was a little bit of soloing going on. That's what I talked about yesterday. Okay? Now, if you want to be more than functional, yes, take it to the nth degree. Okay? And the style of music has changed so much that you're going to put your own stamp on things and all this sort of stuff. Okay? That is how I did it. I took what I had. First of all, I had good chops. Okay? And so I threw in high notes. When in doubt, play high notes and everybody's impressed. All right? I took what Vacchiano gave me, all that transposition, and I just learned a handful. Listen, listen, listen. Read, read, read. I got a handful of things. I thought it was maybe 12, 15 licks. I think one was a Clifford Brown thing. Definitely some Harry James. Some I had to write out. I listened, transcribe, listened to it thousands of times. Now, is that an E flat going to, right? Write it out and transpose it in all the keys. If it works for Vacchiano and Miles Davis, who the hell am I to say, right? Anyway, that's that. And guys, I hope it can be some help to you. And guys, you got to have everything. You got to have a little bit of everything. You got to do reggae, man. And I played reggae bands. Man. Didn't like it, but I did it. Anyway, that's it. Eat and drink fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Love you all.